My name's Yanela Palo. I'm one of the assistant directors of admissions here at UMass Amherst. So I work with students from New Jersey, Tennessee, and North Dakota. So I'm here and there, but I'm also neither here nor there. So there's a cute little picture of me up there. And I also just want to introduce my wonderful admissions diversity fellows. So we have Connor and Mia. So off the bat, we already knocked off the welcome of our agenda. So a little of the things to expect. We're going to give you tips for filling out the common application, how to navigate the admissions process and the timeline, writing your best college essay, and then we'll give you some ways to stay connected with us. I encourage you to stay connected with us, as well as kind of go along with the sheets that our wonderful ADFs gave you. Do we all have them?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Alrighty. So we're going to start off with how to fill out the common application. So the first worksheet that you're going to see, so it's the one that says filling out the common application. Do we all have it? Awesome. Okay, cool. So let's start at the beginning. Have you started the common application? Have we? Have we not? Where are we? If the answer is yes, no, or still thinking about it. So if yes, then you have a head start. Congratulations. Our first deadline is coming up on November 5th, early action. If no, then follow steps 1 through 4 on your handout. If you're still thinking about it, don't worry, we're here to help you. That's exactly what Ready Set Apply is for. So key takeaways of this would be take your time with completing the common application. Check for every single mistake. We find a lot that sometimes you'll apply to UMass but put in the accidental name of the other college that you're applying to. So always double check your work. Have your parent, your guardian, or your school counselor double check your work. There it is, exactly what I just said. Ask your parent, guardian, school counselor, or UMass counselor like myself for any help that you might need. And then triple check your applications for typos and incorrect information. Again, the whole application. Just to make sure that everything is flawless. We understand that not everything's going to be perfect. That is okay. Everybody makes mistakes, but definitely double check, triple check your work just to make sure that there are no typos or incorrect ratings in there. Okay? And then, of course, be authentic. One of the things about the application is that it's not about what we want to hear, it's about what you want to tell us. Okay, so do you want to tell us about, your sports team? Do you want to tell us about you going to South America? Do you want to tell us about your childhood pet? Whatever you want to tell us, we will take it and run with it. We're going to move on to watch the clock navigating the admissions process. So let's switch handouts. Are we all good? Okay, cool. So it looks a little bit like this. Awesome. So how do we get started? We're start the research and dig deep. So make your list and compare your options. So what are the pros and cons? Again, as I mentioned earlier, it's always about the right fit. Size. Is UMass too big? Is it too small? Is it just the perfect size? Does it have the major that you're looking for? Affordability. What is the cost? In-state, out-of-state, residence halls. Do we require first-year housing, etc. Stay organized. I know this is a little cliche, but definitely stay organized. That just means create a file, create a Google Doc, a folder. Put all your essays in there, put all your supplementals there. That way, that's when you kind of are checking for the typos. Okay. And then explore campus. So congratulations to everyone who is here today. We do have campus tours every hour, so kind of get an idea of how big our campus is. Check out some academic buildings. Check out our award-winning dining halls. So kind of just get an idea of what UMass is like and how big is it, etc. And then, of course, contact your admissions counselor. Again, we are here to help. You can easily go on the UMass admissions website. We have our general admissions email. Send us a question. It will be redirected to the correct representative for that state that you are in. Okay? We're always here to answer any questions. You are not bothering us. It is okay. Please, at this time, since we are traveling, just give us like a 1 or 2 day grace period, but we will definitely get back to you. And then, not sure what you want to major in? That's okay, no worries. See what options are there for students to explore. So we do have exploratory tracks / undecided programs. So we do have undecided in the College of Natural Sciences, Social and Behavioral Sciences, Humanities and Fine Arts, etc. So if you are not sure or you have a variety of different interests, we also do have our bachelor's degree with an individual concentration at UMass. So that's creating your own major. So you would be creating your own curriculum and your own degree program as you go. You'll be pulling courses from a lot of our schools and colleges to create your own degree program. Okay. So some key takeaways from this is manage your time so you don't get overwhelmed. I understand that this could be a very, very overwhelming process. I encourage you guys to take 1.5 to 2 hours of your day to apply directly to the admissions process, so to the application. Because you're a senior, this is a great time in your life. Don't let it fly by just because of the application process. Does that make sense a little bit? Go out, enjoy. Go to the soccer game, go to the football game. It's okay. And then identify your passions and relevant academic interests. So are you part of the business club? Are you going to, are you interested in like this athletics? Athletics, is that a big part of your life? So whatever you're really interested in, that is your passion, write about it on the Common Application. And determine your preferred campus location. Are you looking for a city? Are you looking for a rural area, suburban area? So for UMass specifically, we're in a more rural area. So we have a variety of different areas in terms of, we're about 10 minutes from Hadley, we're about 15 to 20 minutes from Northampton, about 35 minutes from our nearest city, Springfield, about 1.5 hour and 45 from Boston, Massachusetts. So it's a matter of like, what location are you looking for? And then, of course, make sure the price is right. So as you guys all have our financial aid 2024-2025 pamphlet, you'll see that we have it divided in state versus out of state. So feel free to kind of look through that. And then, of course, trust the process. So one of the things that I always tell my students when I am visiting their schools is, I know this is going to sound cliche, but this too shall pass. Okay, this is just a brief period in your life. After you submit your application, it is out of your control. Just let it go and kind of keep enjoying your senior year. Okay? And yourself, of course. You're going to make the right decision eventually, and you will always land on your feet. And then we're moving on to the empowering your voice, writing your best college essay. Let's move on to that. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Looks just like this. Awesome. Awesome. So we have some Common App writing prompts. These are kind of the ones that are usually every year on the Common Application. So some students have a background, identity, and interest or talent that is so meaningful that they believe their application would be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, then please share your story. The lessons we take from obstacles we encounter can be fundamental to later success. Recount a time when you faced a challenge, setback, or failure. How did it affect you, and what did you learn from this experience? Reflect on the time when you questioned or challenged a belief or idea. What prompted your thinking? What was the outcome? Reflect on something that someone has done for you that has made you happy or thankful in a surprising way. How has this gratitude affected or motivated you? Discuss an accomplishment, event, or realization that sparked a period of personal growth and a new understanding of yourself and others. And then we have two more. Describe a topic, idea, or concept that you find so engaging that it makes you lose track of time. What does it captivate you? Why does it captivate you? What or who do you turn to when you want to learn more? And then last one. Share an essay on any topic of your choice. It can be one you've already written, one that responds to a different prompt, or one of your own design. So, a couple ways to start thinking about your essay. So we have a variety of different exercises. So take 2 minutes to write a list of words or phrases you would use to describe yourself. Don't be shy. If use any adjective, noun, whatever works for you. So take a look at your list and select 1 or 3 words you would like to expand on. So with these pamphlets, you do not have to do them now if you do not want to. Did you all receive a piece of a pen? No? Okay, that's okay. We can do it at home. So for example, if you say you are really social and like to meet new people? Tell us more about that. What opportunities does that present? Does it expand your social network? Which may lead to cool internships, jobs, etc. So how does being social impact your life? Writing prompt number 2. Take 2 minutes to look around and find an object or image in your home that has significance to you. So it could be a toy, a photo, a piece of jewelry, trophy, childhood favorite item of clothing. You can also take a moment to think about something that is significant to you, discuss what the item is and why it's special to you. And then, of course, number 3. So select 2 of the 5 phrases below and complete each phrase about you personally. Be creative and honest. If you really knew me, you'd know. If I had an unlimited amount of money, my ultimate dream would be. What would the title of your biography be, and why? If you could have an unlimited supply of anything, what would it be, and why? If you could have any superpower, what would it be, and why? Or if you could be any superhero, who would you be, and why? So, some key takeaways of this. So, proofread your material before submitting your application, as I mentioned earlier. Pick the writing prompt that you connect with the most. There are several. Empower your voice and tell your story. So with the Common Application, we find that a lot of students are usually repeating themselves quite often. So let's say that you're in the cheerleading club and you're mentioning that 3 to 4, 5, 6 times, which is great if you're really passionate about it. On the Common Application, you'll find that they're asking you a variety of different questions. Your guardian's name, your parents' name, your sister's name, your brother's name, their ages, where they've been to school, your academic interests, etc. So I encourage you to look at all the questions that have been asked so far and look at the essay and think, what hasn't been asked of me so far in the Common Application? What is a question that I can answer that has not yet been asked of me? Does that make sense a little bit? Okay, cool. And then just kind of want to move on to some questions and answers. So Q&As, do you guys have any questions, comments, concerns? Are we okay? Yeah, what's up?
I just wondered, I know there are different acceptance rates to different colleges within the university.
Yep.
If one were to apply early action to one school and not get in, can you then shift your application to regular decision and apply to another school?
So we don't defer applications. A deny at that point would be a deny for the entire year. You're more than welcome to submit an application for the following year. We do also have the alternative major. I'm not sure if you guys went to the admissions insight. I always encourage a student to put in an alternative major because you never know where there might be some space. With the alternative major, write about it. We find that a lot of our students are forgetting to write about the alternative major. They'll focus so much on that specific major to the point where the alternative major is kind of forgotten about. So, you never know where you might be, where there might be space.
So you're saying you apply and then put your first choice and then your second choice, and your second choice might be in a different school.
Right.
Got
Correct. We do encourage students to submit 2 majors within different schools, just because if you are inadmissible for one, you're most likely inadmissible for the other. Does that make sense?
So, within one school.
Right, exactly.
So don't put like 2 in the same school, put 1 in one school and 1 in the other
Right,
school.
but with that, be genuine about it. It's best to not
Yeah.
apply with the intention of transferring to another major because you never know when that major will become
Yeah.
competitive. Eisenberg is a great example of that. So they stopped taking transfers in 2022. So pretty recently. Computer science is one of those that you can transfer into, but it's not guaranteed. So most of our computer science students rarely transfer out. So if we have one that transfer out, we have 1 spot available. And then, as you guys know, nursing has become so incredibly competitive at every institution, even though there's a shortage. I'm not too sure what that's about. But that one we don't take internal transfers, internal or external transfers, no exceptions. Okay, does that help out a little bit? Yes, sir.
So continuing these questions like the alternate major, can you put undecided something or not sure?
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
Just like it's like you have to put the alternate major. So
Mhm.
can you put like undecided?
Mm-hmm. So we do have undecided programs. So we have undecided College of Natural Sciences, Social and Behavioral Sciences, Humanities and Fine Arts. The thing with the undecided program is that you have to be sure that you're not interested in one of the competitive majors. Okay, because again, it's not guaranteed that you'll be able to get in afterward. And again, Eisenberg is closed, and so is nursing. Okay, but if you're thinking of going undecided, and then you're like, but I kind of also want to try biology at one point, and you want to transfer to biology afterwards, fair game. You're more than welcome to.
So you can transfer from one school to another
Yeah.
as long as it's not one of the competitive
Right,
schools.
exactly.
So like if you thought you wanted to be a kinesiology major in the School of Public Health and you decided, oh, I really want biology, would you have to do a whole transfer application, or is that almost like switching a major in another
You're
school?
just switching a major in another school. I'm sure they can talk a little bit more about that. Do you want?
So I switched my major. I was originally a linguistics major in the humanities and fine arts, and then I switched to be a speech language hearing science major in the School of Public Health and Health Sciences. It really just came down to having a conversation with my advisor and saying, hey, I would like to do this. Here's my reasons why. Here's like my unofficial transcript of what I've currently been doing. And then after that, it just changed on my Spire, which is like our interface for all information about us, and it was simple as that.
It's very easy to transfer across majors. Again, it's just the competitive programs that do have limits. We do have caps on those number of students that are in there. Cool. Any other questions? Cool. Yeah, what's up?
Yes, what are the competitive schools?
Yep. So Eisenberg School of Management, which is their school of business, nursing, computer science, and engineering, especially mechanical engineering. We have seen an increase in psychology as well, becoming competitive. Any other questions? I do have questions for our panelists, if that's okay. Yeah, okay. So what was the most challenging part of the application process for you? Whoever wants to start.
Yeah, I mean, I can start. I'm applying to law school this semester, and I think it's really bringing back all of these memories of these, like, impossible questions that they're kind of asking you. Like, you know, they're asking you basically, like, who you are, like, describe yourself, and that's really hard. And so I feel like the hardest part is, like, starting, because it's, in a sense, asking you, like, things you already consider true about yourself. It's like, I don't know, it's just, like, who I am. So it's an impossible question. But to solve that, I think it is really a good idea to, you know, write down things about yourself. And the best advice I got from somebody that's also applying to law school is that anybody who picks up your Common App essay and it doesn't have your name on it should know who this is. Like, it should reflect your identity. It shouldn't be someone else. They should pick it up and know that it's about you. So, like Yanela said, you shouldn't write it hoping to write it in a way that admissions would like it. You should write it that it genuinely reflects who you are.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It was really hard to write about myself. I'm good at academic writing, like, you know, proving or disproving an argument, providing support, but to talk about myself and my identity was a much bigger challenge. Additionally, I asked, like, my parents, my friends, like, if you were to introduce me to someone, what are the key things that you would talk about? Would it be like my perseverance or how I act in the face of adversity? What are the things that you think are crucial for people to know about? And so I kind of went with that. I'm additionally applying to grad school right now, so I'm also kind of getting the weight of things. But similar to what Yanela said, like, if it's something that you can't find on like the typical Common App questions, talk about it. My essay was about being adopted, which is something that you can't tell based off of just information I put in. And it's something that influenced me as a person, as a student, as my academic interests. It was all influenced by my adoptive identity. So it kind of touched on multiple aspects while showing who I was as a person and the ways in which I want to succeed and grow.
And I like that, where kind of go around and ask figures in your life, what can they say about you? Especially your recommenders. That would be a good place to start because they're the ones who, we will also be reading those letters of application. So like what stands out about you and go from there. And it's important to not just focus inside of the classroom, also focus outside of the classroom because when we're reading holistically, not only are we just focusing on academics, or again, that's why we have you add your extracurricular activities. How passionate are you about them? Another thing about the extracurricular activities, quality over quantity. Okay, I don't want you guys killing yourself for 100 activities just to kind of, you know, impress us. It's about, are you really passionate about that? How long have you been doing it? What does it mean to you? With the supplemental questions as well, I'm gonna just keep repeating this. It's not about what we want to hear. It's about what you want to tell us. They're not trick questions. Why UMass? Is it because you came to campus today and you loved your tour and the fall visit day to the point where you loved it so much you want to apply? Great. If it's because of our number one dining, tell us that it's because of our number one dining. If it's because mom, guardian, sister is an alum to the point like you've been on campus every single weekend and you absolutely can envision yourself there, awesome. But these questions are to interpretation. You tell us what you want to know. And I love what I think it was Mia or one of you said about when you have we have an application, it should tell us exactly who you are. We have about 10 minutes to figure out who you are. Okay? Thank you guys. That was great. I have another question. What did you write your personal essay about? Mia, you already answered this question a little bit, but Connor, we'd love to hear a little bit more.
Yeah, I had a very successful college application process, but my essay was a little non-traditional. I took these identity questions and kind of answered them like I don't really know who I am, and that was kind of what it was called my ode to my identity crisis, just not knowing who I am. It was the pandemic and everybody was inside for 3 months, and it was going to we were about to go into that, and we were all just kind of realizing that I was I don't really know who I am at all. And so I wrote about that, and then I wrote about coming to terms with the person that I'm being. So that was kind of the general idea.
And do you want to elaborate more on yours, or are you all set?
Yeah, I think it's just something, being adopted is something that's very niche identity. It's not something you can really tell off the bat. And I come from a very small town. My graduating class was 75 students across 6 towns coming to one high school. So everyone knew everyone's business, and so it wasn't an identity I've ever had to talk about before because everyone already knew it. But I knew that it was something that I wanted to speak more about, and I think was a testament to how I grew up, my values, what I expect of myself, and what I want out of life. And so that's why I thought it was a really important thing to address. And like I said earlier, something that you wouldn't be able to tell just by reading my transcript or the basic information that you give right away.
Other questions? Also, if you guys have any questions for the panelists, feel free to ask. Raise your hand. Oh yeah, what's up?
The panelists, what other schools did you consider before coming here?
Yeah, Berkeley, Irvine. I'm from Jersey, so obviously Rutgers, but BC, so California and Massachusetts.
Totally out.
I applied to Sacred Heart University down on by the shore in Connecticut. I applied to SUNY Binghamton, which is a really random one. I applied to Hofstra University because my oldest sister went there. UMass, obviously. And I think that was honestly it. I didn't apply, I think it was about 5 I tried to keep it at, because I knew people who applied to 15, and I was I don't have that kind of stamina or energy. I'm going to focus in and really make sure these 5 applications are the best they can be.
Yeah. I mean, to piggyback off that, why UMass? It's okay. I'm not here.
Frankly, I kind of, at least I followed the money, just how it goes. But I think I wrote my essay and I was between Berkeley and UMass, and I think, New England I'm from the area, and so I know that I wanted to stay in New England kind of. I was open to being California, but I don't know. I feel that would have been a big life change. I like fall and I like it being cold, so I was I don't know if I want to go to California. And I don't know, I mean the dining is really good. I didn't know this at the time, but there are a lot of opportunities at UMass. I'm in 2 labs and they were basically I just asked the professor and they let me in. And I don't know, I think I saw the library and I was wait, that's kind of cool, I'm just going to commit to UMass. Yeah.
Okay, the library, remember the supplemental questions, why UMass? Tell us it's the library, we'll take it.
I think my main 3 reasons was I didn't want to go to UConn because half of my school went to UConn. And so I was what's UConn adjacent that isn't in Connecticut? And that was UMass. The linguistics program I originally wanted to be in was number 4 in the world. They have world-renowned professors, and I was like, that's got to be the place I'm going to be if I want to succeed in that. Changed my major. That's totally okay. I'm still very happy with my decision. And similarly, like, I wanted a big school, but I didn't want to be in like a big area like New York City or Boston. Like, I come from rural Connecticut, so I knew that would be too much of an adjustment. Like, it's adjustment enough coming to college, big or small. It's a very different experience. Like, you're being independent for the first time. So I knew that too much change would probably be too much, but I still wanted to be able to meet people I would have never heard of from in my hometown. Then have that large campus feel without feeling like I'm like suffocated by like the towers and hustle and bustle of the city.
Any questions?
Congratulations being part of the Honors program, and I just wanted to know how was that experience?
So the admissions for it, there's no additional admissions. You're automatically considered for it. If you don't get into the honors college in your initial application, you can apply internally, and it's actually, you have a much better chance getting in internally as well. There are just like a few more requirements. It's more just like doing an extra credit or 2 in already your major. So I just added like an honors class that was already existing in my major to satisfy requirements. And then there's the big thesis. I completed my thesis last year. You usually do it in your senior year, but I'm graduating early. So I did it last year, and it was a process, but it was so empowering to be able to choose exactly what I want to do, what I wanted to write about, what I wanted to study about. Because typically, like in classes, you know, you're given the curriculum, told what to study. But in this case scenario, I took the lead in my own interests and my own passions, and being able to present it in front of a bunch of researchers and make a big poster board out of it. It felt really cool to be like, that's my work, and this is what I can do.
Yeah, kind of to build off of that, I think the Honors College is like a private liberal arts like approach to UMass. Like, if you're touring any of the private liberal arts, they pride themselves on smaller classes, you know, classes that change the way you think about things, and that's kind of what the Honors College does. Like, one of the classes is literally called like Ideas That Change the World, and then there's like other seminars, and I took a seminar on bookmaking. Like, it's like pretty much you're at a private liberal arts school, but at UMass for like a couple classes, which I really liked about it. And yeah, like what Mia said, I think the really unique thing about the Honors College is that you have to do a thesis, which is just like a 40 to 60 page manuscript of research of your own design. It's a great resume boost, but it's also a really good way to critically think about things in your senior year of college, and kind of gives you an approach to like where your future's going, essentially. Another big thing is that Honors College are the only dorms with AC, and they're also beautiful, so you know, that's great too.
2013.
Yeah.
People say the AC doesn't matter, but those first few weeks when it's really hot, you're moving around doing like 2,000 steps a day, you're gonna want that.
Yeah, you're gonna want to like go to Honors College, like compare it to the dorms up there, and that'll be like the final decision, I think.
Yeah, but we're in New England. So
Yeah.
it gets chilly really quickly, and
That's
then so like there's the pros and cons.
It's really pretty down there.
It is pretty. I will.
Close to
Yes,
the gym,
I have to
close to
agree
the
with the ideas. Okay. I have another question for them. So, what advice would you give to your high school self, knowing what you know now? It could be the application review. It can be after the application process. Now, like as a UMass student.
For me, it was tour. I did not tour anywhere for some reason. Like, I was just like not feeling the tours. Like, I don't know. I think 17-year-old me was like really like not lazy about like visiting schools, but I was like, I don't know. I mean, like I saw pictures of them. You know, it's probably fine, but you know, it does really make a big difference to actually tour the school. Like, you get a feel for how everything operates. Like, you know, I've been to other schools, and like the pictures like do them a lot better than how it actually feels there. Like, it's like you like see pictures of it, and then you go and it's like low-key dead, and it's like kind of ugly, and there's construction everywhere, which they don't show you. The UMass does not like that. Like, the UMass pictures don't do them justice. At least mine. So tour, for sure.
You guys are already a step ahead of me. You're over here.
Oh yeah, you're already touring, so great.
Give yourself a pat on the back for that. Gosh, tell myself in high school, take a breather. Really, take a breather. it feels like a lot because this is a crucial time in your life. Like, there's no denying that you are making a really big decision for yourself that will impact your future, but it's not the only thing that your future is dependent on. Like, there's a statistic that like adults change their whole career 2 to 3 times on average. Changing your major, changing the school you go to, deciding maybe I want to take a gap year, maybe I want to study abroad instead. Like, those are decisions that are totally okay to make and to change about yourself. So just take a breather. You don't need to know everything. Your friends probably don't know everything. Your parents don't know everything. That's why we have us to help you and people to support you. So just take a deep breath and do your best. That's all we really ask of you. That's all anyone expects of you throughout your entire life is just to put in your best effort. And the results will show for themselves.
I did what you said, Connor. I also did a tour in school, so it's really funny that I'm up here telling you, go to our school. When I didn't, I also relied on the pictures. I have one more question, and I'm actually going to take this from our last event, our virtual event, because I really liked it. So how would you say UMass learning is different and similar to other institutions? What is unique about UMass from your experience? I really like that question, and I know that still threw you guys for a loop that day. So yeah.
Something really unique about the UMass experience, I can start there and build off of that. So on Halloween, this is something that's really fun about UMass. We do like lobster and steak night on Halloween, and so like you get a ticket as part of the meal plan, and then like you like line up and it's like an hour-long wait, but like you eventually get a lobster or a steak. And like that's fun, but the fun part is that like the entire campus is like decorated with lobsters. Like people like take the lobsters and like low-key like put them everywhere. Like they're in the dorms, they're in like the library, like they're, I don't know, it's just like, and it's also like Halloween weekend, so it's like, you know, the vibes are good, it's fall. Like that's a tradition I really like about UMass.
Yeah, I think building off, like, UMass has so many unique things about it that make it a large community that you can be a part of, but it's also super customizable. You have your build your own major. You can do honors or not do honors. You can be a TA or not be a TA, be your peer mentor, help future students, get a job like we did and help you guys. You can really make it your own experience while still enjoying the community aspect of UMass, even as large as it is. You can still find community, whether that's in small pockets, whether that's where you live and on your floor, to as big as your entire major, your entire school, the entire university.
Alright. Do we have any other questions? Yes, what's up?
You mentioned that all students are automatically considered for the honors program. What percentage of admitted students also are admitted?
So we take the top 10% of our accepted pool and we extend them an invite. Yeah. Of course. Yep. I'm here for that.
Do you happen to know there's one scientific conference called FISO?
Pfizer, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you call it? I don't know if they do internships with us or anything.
I have heard people do internships. Someone who was a
I've posted that.
Oh, great.
Oh my gosh, that's
Well, come to UMass, we have a
yeah.
connection.
I know
Yeah,
some.
I did, yeah.
A previous ADF actually worked for the CDC.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really cool. I know people who now work for like NASA and the government through internships and different experiences. So I would say we have a pretty expansive network. All of our faculty are actively participating in research, and research usually spans across different areas, to get that larger data set. So we have a lot of great connections.
There's a career fair at the beginning of each
Oh, yeah.
semester. So that's companies as well as graduate schools that come on, and you're more than welcome to bring your resume to that. Try to go from there.
For you, does UMass have a lot of connections to like other schools, like grad school?
Grad school.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you guys call
I would say yes, so that is pretty major specific in what you want to do in grad school. So speech language hearing sciences, usually you're either becoming an audiologist, so someone who does hearing tests and gives out hearing aids, or you're being a speech therapist who are working with children or adults. And so it's like a requirement by the nation that you have a master's degree. So they're automatically aware that you're going to likely be applying to grad school, and they connect you through alumni. A lot of our faculty aren't even from Massachusetts themselves. They've went to Arizona State University, Michigan, smaller liberal arts colleges in different areas. So I think that really helps in growing our network of people you know, but it is more specific to your major when it comes to grad school.
And for non-graduate school, we also have the 5 College Consortium. I don't know if you guys heard about this. It basically gives you the opportunity to take classes at any of the 4 neighboring schools, Amherst College, Hampshire College, Mount Holyoke, and Smith. Those are all very competitive private liberal arts schools, so if you don't want to go to a private liberal arts school, but you just want to take a class there, any UMass student can take a class there for free. There's a bus that goes there. Definitely a great advantage of UMass, but they don't have graduate programs. Just wanted to add to that.
Career-wise, in terms of graduate, don't have that number off the top of my head. I do know that career-wise, we do have over 119 partnerships just in the state of Massachusetts. So you can imagine just how that would be in terms nationwide. Cool. Any other questions for me or our panelists? Alrighty. Cool. So stay connected, stay in touch. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let us know. Please reach out to our general admissions email. Follow us on Facebook. The Instagram is actually very helpful. Any updates regarding our EA release date will be on that, as well as just any events coming up. Alrighty. Thank you guys for coming. Enjoy the rest of your day, and have a good one.